G'day everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cryptonite Live. I did want to start off by saying I do apologize for the last 2 weeks. I've been just busy and I've actually been pretty sick once again. So let's get straight into these charts. I did notice Burst kind of looked a little bit, well, it caught my attention. As you can see, it did fire off a few bullish divs here, and you can see what the end result was this pump of like 125%. Again, we have come back down to these lows. We are firing bullish divs. We've got a bullish divs in histogram, bullish divs in OBV. Volume has ramped up here. I would like to see maybe on a smaller time frames double bottom off this low right here. Willie is technically stupid and is firing off a div. Let's check out. So this is the 4 hour. So if we could get some sort of double bottom, if we could have kind of like this scenario where we can get a nice double bottom, nice W in price, and move higher, that would be quite nice. So that's I do think it will probably play around in this triangle for a bit, but there is profit to be made. My stop loss will be at this low here, so the stop loss will be at just a touch under. I think I'll do 5% under 32 sats. So yeah, if you're an investor, long-term hold, we could potentially look for profit objectives. I don't know if I use this or use this high up here, because that wick does look a little bit suspicious. So if we went from let's get the 50% around. Would we come back up and tag this 50%? Pretty likely. When you do zoom out, let's just say on a weekly. This is again for the investor. You can see how crazy this thing has been over the last when was it? 2017, 2018. Could this happen again? More than likely. I mean, you can see this huge weekly W here breakout, come a Wyckoff check off these highs, and this monster move up. So for the investors, it's actually not bad for a nibble. I'll definitely be nibbling on this name. We're sitting right at the POC, so we are towards the bottom end of this range. Could we come up and tag value high, which is these tops right here, in long term? Potentially, yes. It has been very heavily oversold for quite some time. Even a weekly showing a bullish div here. Histogram is still looking pretty good. We did have the bulls step in here. Would like to see maybe the bulls take charge like they did here. But anyway, that's one name to look at. Moving on to the next one is ARPA BTC. One of my boys in the group asked me to do some TA on this. Zoom in. So this looks like a pretty fairly new asset. Straight away, I can see that there's a gap right here. So on the daily, I can see some bearish divergence happening in volume. So I don't know if you want to use, say, that wick, or you want to use candle bodies. It's up to you, but it is showing a bearish divergence in volume, bearish divergence in histogram. Willie technically is not stupid yet, so we could potentially go higher, maybe test top of value right here, which is somewhere in amongst these. Maybe these wicks need to be eaten. But yeah, if I was to be a buyer on this, I would probably look to get somewhere. So somewhere around this zone here. But this still hasn't finished moving up. Until we can confirm that this is a top, this fib could probably be all the way up here somewhere. So I would like to define a top here before we can actually start, setting our reload zones. But we could have something like this if it does pump a little bit higher. But you can see that most of the price action has traded at the POC, which is right here. So that would probably be the 50% in the middle right here. Could we come down, tag value low? Possibly. That is in the reload zone currently. But again, waiting for this to either M out, roll over. But yeah, we are getting bearish divs in the histogram right here. Have a bearish div fire in Willy. Bearish div fire here. So yeah, even on the 4-hour, we're still getting a bearish divergence on volume. So yeah, this is another wait and watch. Up next was something else that kind of caught my eye for the long-term investors. I will probably be nibbling this sometime soonish. I do have an alert to set at this breakout level. What I did see was a potential inverse head and shoulders here. So what I'll probably do is so that's around. So currently right now it's flagging off this 382. If this double bottom right here holds, I'll probably be playing the breakout. Or if it does move lower and this right shoulder comes back down to this 618 is probably where I'll be buying. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm seeing currently with Neblio. Price is trading at the POC, massive hole in volume profile right here. Actually, let's check out. I'll clone this. Yeah, I mean, there is heaps of room. I mean, if we do zoom out a bit more, you can see. I mean, for the long-term investors, I'd be looking at this 50% fib right here. I mean, that notch, there's a notch right there. But even bigger is this huge notch. The potential growth for these alts are just absolutely ridiculous. So if I put that in there, you can see that Neblio has a lot of room to grow. So these are some notes that I wrote from before. Inverse head and shoulders, which we've already looked at. Price was trading at the POC, which is right here. Willy is very stupid on the weekly and firing a div. So let's check that one out. So yeah, we do have, actually, yeah, we have a weekly div on OBV. We have a continuation in MACD. The Willy is firing off a div, and it is currently very oversold. Yeah, someone has been accumulating risk to the low. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing anyway. So the potential growth for this is just absolutely ridiculous. Even if you're playing this 50% over, how long is this period? March. Okay, so that's not too long, and my goal is for these alts is to sell half and a double, so I'm in a risk-free position. Is it possible to tag this 50%? Big holes in VPVR that still need to be filled in. I think it is very possible. So if I can get a double off this and let the rest ride, I'm laughing. Alrighty, on to the next one, which is NPXS or Pundix, however you want to pronounce it. I've got no idea, but well, I did see this start to rally this morning. I can already see that there are potential bearish divs working. So if we do a line from here to here, you can see from here to here, well, this is lower than this part here, but price is making higher highs. Volume on this bar is higher than this, so we can see bearish price making higher highs, while volume is not. Willy is technically in the middle of nowhere. We still are bullish in OBV, but if I change this to a daily OBV, I guess this is when they took the BTC pairing off and it just absolutely plummeted. But this is getting actually bullish on the daily. It looks like we're getting that OBV cross of that 13 EMA. We are getting heaps of bullish divs firing in the histogram, and we have had oversold conditions in Willy that have just come out of oversold. You can see that we've had 3 bullish divs fire, so that's where price has been making lower lows, but internally it has not. A lot of people have been saying that this coin is going to die, while internally you can see that technically right here would have been a pretty good buy, or here. So long term, I mean, we could do from here to here. Could we come up and tag this 618? We could come up to this POC right here, which actually works well with this 382. So that's not a bad profit objective. So even if we were to okay, that wasn't my intention. Move this to the bottom right here. Can we get a 2-to-1 off current price? I think we can. Just under 2-to-1. So if this can, because we are getting bearish signals coming off here, could we see price come back down to eat these wicks right here? Possible. So if we do move our risk to the low, what does our risk reward turn to then? So it's a 4.66 to 1. That's with the target of, actually we can do this, target of 382. That's a really good risk reward right there. So if this does roll over and we can tag this 618, I'll probably be looking for nibbles somewhere around in here. We also do have this fairly large tail right here. So even if we did set some bids maybe down on the 786, let's see if we can get some gaps on the daily. So this gap has been filled in. The only gap is showing is this gap right here on the daily. So for 4-hour gaps, where's this gap? So that gap's been filled in. Most of these gaps have been filled in, actually. Let's have a look. So we've got 3 here on the 4-hour. Ah, yes. You can definitely see that gap there. So this is probably where I'd be looking for some bids. You got that gap there, and you also got that gap right there. So you can see that those gaps work in well with this reload zone right here. So I will be patient and I'll wait. If price does go higher, I'm definitely not going to FOMO. If price does come back down into here to fill this wick and these gaps, that's definitely what I'm looking for. So risk reward is really nice here. It looks like the bulls do want to defend this area here. So time will tell. Patience. Alrighty, I'll wrap that up there, guys. Hopefully you got some value out of that today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you.